So namaste, welcome yogis. Thank you for joining me. Now for your practice today, have a couple of blankets available, 2 cushions, a bolster or something else that acts as your bolster, a rolled up blanket, a rolled up comforter, large pillows. So having available what you need to be comfortable, to cover yourself and be able to stay warm, and to just add some additional padding between you and the earth wherever you need it. Let's come into our comfortable seat, Sukhasana, making sure that you are warm, that you are wearing layers. Your temperature will drop. Take a few moments with your breath and I'll introduce our mudra for today. Settle into the rhythm, the waves of breath as they flow in and out. Synchronizing with your breath here. Allowing your thoughts to follow the flow of your breath. Always these first few seconds on our mat is a journey from off the mat to on the mat. From being active to being still. From being busy to creating time. And as you notice your breath slowing down and deepening, you may notice your thoughts are slowing down. I'm going to introduce our mudra. So I'm trying to work out how I do it. That's it. So cross your wrists. I have my right wrist in front of my left. So the right wrist is closer, to my heart. So to me, it's in front. Interlace your little fingers and bring your index and middle finger to touch your thumb, and your ring finger is slightly extended. So it looks like so. So if you look, you've got a sort of, either butterfly wings actually. They do look like butterfly wings to me. Kilaka mudra, the mudra for good health, the gesture to align us with healthy balance. This is part of our self-care sequence, self-care series of yin practice. And with your mudra at your heart, begin to notice the connection between your body and the breath. By physically having your hands against your heart here, perhaps you can feel the rise and fall of your breath, the subtle movement in your chest as the breastbone rises towards the hands and falls away from the hands, from the mudra, the seal. Let's begin to add a count to our breath for our pranayama. And we'll add a count of anything between 4 and 6. Samavritti pranayama, equal count breath. We inhale, hold, exhale, hold for the same count. We'll start with 4. And then I'll offer you a progression to 5 or 6, or you can stay at 4. We may all shift. Inhale, and then exhale completely through open mouth. Inhaling now for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the breath in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, staying at 4 or rising to 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the breath in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the breath out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying at either 4 or 5 if you choose, or rising to the count of 6. Inhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding in, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Choosing your own comfort level, completing another round, 4, 5, or 6. And then releasing the count after completion and bringing your hands into Namaskar Mudra, opening by chanting Om 3 times together. Inhale fully. Exhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Hands together at your eyebrow center. Namaste. And welcome, yogis. Welcome to our Rest and Reset Yin class. Our practice today is for back pain, to ease back pain or release back tension. So we may be holding tension or experiencing pain from an injury or from pulling a muscle. As we get older, particularly even just everyday activities begin to create pain and aches in your back. So you may have different points in your back that either holds tension, or where you experience pain or discomfort. You may be anywhere on that spectrum. So we'll be working today with our lower body to help release the spine. And we'll be compressing and decompressing the spine so that we create some positive and gentle stress or pressure on the spine that helps to strengthen the bones and improve bone health. And then we'll be creating decompression or space, which provides ease of movement. And this way, we can work at a much deeper level, at the deeper connective tissue or the fascia, which is often in our ligaments or tendons, where we might experience any aches, pains, or discomfort. So we're going to start in a moment. A mantra, if you wish to invoke a mantra for your practice, you can have a mantra in English, or you can use the Sanskrit mantra. And the Sanskrit mantra for today is Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, invoking the energy of Shiva. Shiva represents consciousness, this universal consciousness of which we're all a part. He is said to be the first yogi, Adi Yogi. And this mantra, when we invoke his name, is a mantra for healing. Om Namah Shivaya. Om, the universal sound. Namah, to invoke, to call, invite. And Shivaya, the healing energy of this consciousness of which we are all a part. And if you wish to use a mudra, you can use the Kilaka mudra, which is interlacing little fingers. Ring the peace fingers, middle and index touching the thumb, and ring slightly extended. Or you can do this mudra called Matsya mudra, which is back of left palm, place the right palm on top, thumbs are extended, so your fingertips are all aligned. So you'll have your little finger on your index at either end. So it's literally placing, like stacking one hand above the other. Palm is face down. And then you can circle your thumbs one way, then the other. Now, this looks like a fish, right? So this is called Matsya. Matsya means fish gesture. And the story is that there was fish swimming in the stream. And Lord Shiva was telling his wife Parvati about how he'd created this flow of water, of healing waters, in which fish were swimming. And these healing waters were said to be help to bring our body into balance. So this is a water element mudra. And it's the water element that we're going to be working on. So we know that we have the kidney here at the back, which is connected to the sort of where we connected to the element of water. And so we'll be literally flushing toxins, clearing the space around our spine. And this is the Matsya. So this is a really fun mudra. So you can use that. So let's practice our mantra 3 times with our mudra. And you can also choose to have an English affirmation, a positive affirmation in English. The length of my spine is supple. My spine is in good health. I enjoy ease of spinal movement. Whichever connects with you, or the part of your body that you want to concentrate, the part of your back or your spine that you want to focus on today. Inhale fully, and we'll do call and response three times. Once, call and response. We'll do call and response twice, and then together the final time. Inhale to prepare. Om Namah Shivaya. Together. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Together. Om Namah Shivaya. All together. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Love this. So much fun. Now we're going to have less fun. We're going to start coming down to the up. You have your blankets. Line your mat with a blanket, especially where you're going to have your lower back, your sacrum, and your sit bones. So I'm going to have my blanket just about here so that I'm really supported underneath myself and there. Keeping your knees bent, feet flat on the earth. You can support your hands or you can engage your core. We're going to come down onto the earth here into constructive rest. So come to the earth how it feels comfortable for you. So you'll notice that if you have your blanket here underneath you, it feels slightly lifted here in your lower back. Bring your heels in a little bit closer. Knees can be parallel here for the moment. And just for a couple of breaths, tilt your pelvic bowl so that you tilt your pelvic bowl towards you and then away from you. And you'll notice that little gap between the lower back and the earth. As you tilt your bowl, that gap will either close or open. So we'll do these 3 gentle movements here, just to feel the connection with the earth. And as you tilt your pelvic bowl up, you can really feel the lower back connecting with the earth. And for me, that feels really soothing for my lower back. So you can hold for a few seconds. And then when you've done a few here, that's my dog enjoying a good roll on the floor. Let's take our feet as wide as our mat and knock knees together. So let the knees fall in towards one another. Right hand can be on your lower belly, left hand on your heart. Bring all of the fingers together and extend your thumbs so you create that Matsya shape. Tuck your chin in slightly. If you feel cool here, you can cover yourself with a blanket. If you have an eye pillow nearby, you can always cover your eyes with your eye pillow. And we're going to be in constructive rest for 3 minutes. So let's take a full breath in. And as you exhale, release the breath through open mouth. Twice more. And trace the journey of that exhale down the length of your spine. So allow your breath to travel the full length of your spine on the inhale and the exhale. And as you rest here in constructive rest, and we don't often start our practice reclined on the earth, but as we're trying to release the tension in our back, we want to send a message to our nervous system that we are moving into a state of relaxation, of rest, so that we can de-stress the nervous system and activate the parasympathetic system, which is responsible for the rest and digest mode. I'm going to be here for another minute. Allow your muscles to soften. Your knees to be supported, knowing that they can relax and soften in this supported pose. The spine is long here. Ten more deep breaths here. These breaths that travel the full length of your spine. Inhaling to nourish the spine. Exhaling to release knots, tension, discomfort anywhere along the length of your spine that affects your back. Our backs are often the most vulnerable points of stress on our body. We tend to hold our tension or stress. Or we may have experienced physical injury or a condition that affects the length of our spine. Releasing the breath here. And I'm going to invite you to heel toe your feet back towards center so that they're hip distance wide. Hug in your right knee. Interlace your fingers and wrap your fingers round your shin and hug that knee in. Now your left leg, your knee can stay bed and left foot on the earth, but you can extend that left leg long. See how it feels in your back. Tuck your chin so that the back of your neck feels extended. And check how this may have brought some tension to your shoulders or your jaw. See if you can just soften through the jaw, shoulders, the brow, backs of the ears, the chin, your neck, collarbones, the tops of your shoulders, backs of your shoulders, your arms. You may have noticed that by interlacing, you've introduced tension in your arms and hands. Softening. Om Namah Shivaya. Invoking the healing energy of universal consciousness. And just as water flows like a stream, healing energy flows along the length of our spine as if it were a channel of water, a river, a stream, a brook. One more breath here. If your left leg is extended, bring the left foot back towards you, bending into your knee. Now I invite you to extend your right leg up towards the sky. Take your hands to the back of your thigh or your shin, wherever you wish to rest your hands. We're not coming into a really deep extension here. We're just coming to our edge. Remember, we meet our edge in yin. We don't go beyond our edge. So this you may feel in your hamstrings if you have hamstring stories to tell. And my body certainly has lots of hamstring stories and Achilles tendon stories to tell me about from all of the running I used to do. Relax your toes here, not pointing them or flexing our heel. You're simply allowing that right leg just to hang out up there. Now your left leg can stay as it is with the bend in the knee, or you can experiment with extending that and see how that feels for you. This will create a very different sensation. So find the sensation that you want in your body and where in your back you feel this. For some of us, extending the left leg long may extend the spine for us. For some of us, this might cause twinges or discomfort, in which case we've gone beyond our edge. Again, check where you're holding tension. You may have tightened through the jaw, the shoulders, the knuckles again. So soften where you can. So 3 more long breaths here. We're not going to hold for too long here at this moment. And then let's slide the left heel back towards us if we have extended that leg, and cross the right ankle onto the left thigh, creating a figure of 4, eye of the needle. You may choose to stay like this and soften here. Depending on the experience or sensation you want to have in your back, you can always lift that left foot and bring your hands wrap around the back of your left thigh, front of your left shin. And remember, we go to where we want to. So we may be quite happy here with our left foot planted on the earth, our right knee turning out. Our hands can be resting on our body or alongside our body with our fingers gently curled. The benefit of yin is that it can help to release the tension, which can often lead to spasms that we experience sometimes in backaches. So some of us may experience that, the spasms in our, anywhere along this length of the spine, but particularly the lower back. And that is muscular tension that's causing compression. By coming into yin, which invokes relaxation at the deeper connective tissue, including the muscles and beyond, this will help us to feel into those areas where we often experience spasms. We can guide our breath to that area. 3 more breaths here. And then release that left foot to the earth if you have it lifted. Uncross the right foot and bring the right foot to the earth. Take a moment here and perhaps you allow your knees to fall out. Perhaps you allow your knees to fall in. Find what works for your lower back. Sometimes with the knees falling out, we can feel compression on the lower back, and that might not be what we need for the moment. Where the knees falling in towards each other, it gives more space in our lower back. And now, let's hug in that left knee, interlacing your fingers around the outside of that left shin. Your right foot can stay planted on the earth with that right knee bent, or you have the option of extending that right leg. And everybody's is in a different place. Our bodies are unique and individual to us. We have different stories to tell. We have lived lives that are unique to us. And for some of us, extending that right leg may not be supportive to our back health. For some of us, extending that leg and perhaps even pushing out so that extending the right leg, sorry, and pushing out through that right heel might add just the level of compression that we want to experience. If it doesn't feel good, then that's your body communicating with you. Or, as many of you know, I'm not an advocate for yoga that causes physical pain or discomfort. Practice of yoga is to allow the body to come into a steady, comfortable state in preparation for meditation. So causing aches and pains and sores will not help the body to prepare for meditation. One more breath here. If your right leg is extended, slide that right heel back towards you. And then lift the left leg up towards the sky. Taking your hands, wrapping them round the back of your left thigh or calf, wherever you wish to place your hands. And relax your toes here. The right leg can stay bent here, or you can extend it long. See how that feels in your hamstrings. So it might feel very different from one side of your back to the other side. And I know in my body that it feels less comfortable extending my right leg in this pose than it did with my left leg. Because most of my back pain I feel on the left side of my lower back, where I had the epidural over 20 years ago. And I can still feel pain in that part of my lower back. Because not surprisingly, slightly messed up when I had it. And it's left me with the vulnerability as well as the trauma of that experience. And that is where in my body I tend to hold my pain or my trauma or my tension. Because not only is there physical vulnerability, it has become attached, and an emotional vulnerability has become attached to that area. Three more breaths here. Again, allow the breath to travel the length of your spine. The breath is your tool or your aid for healing. Let's bring the left foot to the right thigh here, creating your figure of four or eye of the needle. So again, choose where you wish to be here, and then we'll stay in that pose. So right foot on the earth, hugging the back of your right thigh or your right shin. Find what feels good for your back here. What works for your body, what meets your physical needs. Your breath will be your guide. If your breath struggles to flow evenly and smoothly down the length of your spine, it means that you move just beyond your edge. So ease away from your edge. the story of Shiva and Matsya, this dormant healing energy that is carried in the water. So often we use water for healing rituals and cleansing and detoxifying, flushing away. And when one particular fish rose up from the water and stepped onto land, he became a person, a human called Matsyendranath. So we often have a pose, Matsyendrasana, in our practice where we come into a little twist. Pose named after Matsyendranath. And it is said that he became the first yoga teacher. So we have Shiva, the first yogi, and Matsyendranath, the first yoga teacher. So the very foundation of yoga is created in this mythology of healing energy of water. One more full breath here. And then let's release our hands and bring the right foot to the earth. It was lifted, uncross that left foot. And again, you can either take your knees wide into reclined butterfly, or you can knock your knees together in constructive rest. And let's take 3 deep breaths here, whichever option you have chosen for yourself. Om Namah Shivaya. My back is supple and strong. My spine is healthy and mobile. And now we're going to move into our pose in this sequence of lying on the earth. We're going to move into reclined shoelace pose. So let's cross our right leg over the left leg. You can stay here, or you can lift your knees up towards you so that your knees coming in, and you can place your hands on your shins and hugging your knees towards you. You can take your hands to your ankles, your big toe. So you're either holding onto your shins here, with your knees coming in towards you. You can hold onto your ankles. You can hold onto your feet. You can wrap your peace fingers around your big toe. Find the option you want to explore today. So this is shoelace pose with a variation. Recline on the earth. Our back supported. And you may notice that by having a folded blanket underneath our lower back, if we didn't have this folded blanket here, the curve in that part of the back would not be supported. So this just enables the whole length of the spine to have connection with the earth in some way. Maybe your affirmation is that as I lie here, I feel the aches and pains easing away. With each out breath, I let go of any discomfort or tension in my back. So we have many wellness practitioners who use affirmation, positive affirmations in this way. And South Asians would use mantra for the same purpose, to focus their mind on healing or energizing or releasing, to invoke an essence or a quality within us. Om Namah Shivaya. And you can almost hear the sense of release and relief one experiences when we chant mantra or repeat a positive affirmation. One more breath here in reclined shoelace. So releasing either your feet or shins. Let's lower our feet towards the earth. Uncross that right leg. And release the knees over to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, release the knees over to the right. Inhale to center, move slowly here. And one more time, release the knees over to the left. So we're just doing our counter pose. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, over to the right. Into center. And let's hug them in. Deep hug. And then bring them back down to the earth. And now let's cross the left leg over the right. And again, yogi's choice for where they want to be. You can stay here. This might feel great for your back, and this might be enough of what you need today. Or you can bring your knees in towards you. You can take your hands to just below your knees, your shins, your ankles, your feet, your big toes. Whatever you wish to take hold of. There is no right or wrong in yoga. It's simply how it feels in your body. Your body is your guide. By tuning into the sensations that we experience, we know whether we are in a place of comfortable challenge or we are moved into a place of discomfort or pain. Positive stress does not cause pain of any sort. And when it begins to feel unsustainable and you begin to struggle with holding that pose, explore what it is. Is it a physical sensation or is it a mental sensation? So the mental sensation is perhaps the thought is, oh, I'm getting tired now. This is getting too much for me. Use your breath and then check in with your body again. How does my body feel now? And if you're still having the same thoughts, then respond to your body's needs. Because sometimes our thoughts can misinterpret messages from our body. We just want to check in with our body each time, how it's feeling. Especially our back. Super careful with our back. Any part of our spine, I always take the greatest of care. I'm nearly 50 now, just a month or two shy of 50. And my back has a very different story to tell me compared to when I was 40. Never mind what it was like when I was 20. And I know again in 10 years when I'm 60, it will again feel different for me. One more breath here. Releasing your hands and bringing your feet to the earth. That's not me yawning, that's the dog. He's having a little stretch of his back as well. Uncross your left leg. And again, let's release the knees over to the right first. Inhale to center, then to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. And then back to center and to the left for the last time to balance it out. And back to center. Shh. Shh. Now, shh. We're going to roll over gently onto our left side. Just rest there for a moment, and we're going to come onto our abdomens now. So we'll transition slowly. And then when you're ready, with helping hands, come onto your abdomen here. Now, we're going to come into Sphinx Pose here. And your options here is, if Sphinx is not comfortable, the option I always give you is Crocodile Makrasana. So you can take your elbows as wide as your mat, cross your hands and place one hand on top of the other, or you can place a little, so I can use my eye pillow here, and you can rest your eyebrows center on your hands. And this is a very gentle back bend. It is a back bend, but it's very gentle because we have this folded blanket underneath it. If Sphinx is comfortable for you, you can bring your forearms onto the earth, spread your fingers, legs extended behind you, big toes connected with the earth, or in my case, resting on my dog's bed. And you can be in Sphinx here. Alternative options for everyone. You can have a bolster underneath your heart space, and then again, this will help to support you in Sphinx without you needing to hold up your weight on your forearms. So this will ease any tension you might feel in your shoulders. Another option is to have another folded blanket, which may not be as high as your bolster or pillow. So again, using the height that you want to. And you can place your forearms on a folded blanket. And in this case, I will interlace my fingers because I'm supported with the folded blanket or my bolster. So I don't need to use the full length of my forearms or hands on the earth because I have other support available to me. And at any point when this begins to feel uncomfortable, and it may well do, or begins to cause any twinges, you can come onto the earth in Makrasana, Crocodile Pose, with your elbows as wide as your mat and your eyebrow center resting on the backs of your hands. The head begins to feel heavy. You can always place a block and rest your eyebrow center on a block or on your bolster as well. And this is the beauty of yin. There are so many variations that we can adapt to suit the needs of our body. We don't use yoga to fit our body to the practice. We use the practice to fit our bodily needs as well as our energetic needs. If our body is disrupted or in disharmony through our practice, then that will affect the energetic body, the layer beneath the physical layer, the subtle body. One more breath here. In your variation. I'm going to come into child's pose. So lift yourself up onto your knees and sit back with your tailbone towards your feet. Now, if you have your bolster, you could rest your forehead on the bolster, your heart on the bolster. I'm bringing my folded blanket. My elbows are out. I'm resting my eyebrow center on the backs of my hands. So you can use your double layered blanket as a cushion. You can use your bolster. You can also turn your left ear or right ear onto your large bolster or your large pillow. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. May my back be at ease and in comfort. May my spine be healthy and mobile and strong. I thank my back. I thank my spine for providing the support that I need through each day. One more breath here. Lift your eyebrow center and then walk your hands back towards you. We'll take a moment here. Now we're coming up towards the end of our practice. So just before you go into your Shavasana, and I'll invite you to take your Shavasana in your beyond the end of our class. Options now are going to be either legs up the wall or legs in the air. And you'll have two options. You'll either have your folded blanket or you might have a bolster available. So it's yogi's choice what you use, or you might have access to a wall. So depending on where you are. So if you're using your folded blanket, bring your sit bones onto the blanket, and you want to have the tailbone in the middle of your blanket here. Hands can be alongside your body, and hug your knees in, and then extend your legs long and allow your legs to be soft here. Your toes are soft, your joints are soft, so your ankles, your knees are all soft. So that's one option. And your legs find the angle that feels most comfortable for you. If you want to use your bolster for this purpose, have your bolster underneath your knees or your large pillow, and then lift your hips and pelvis, and then place the bolster in the middle of that lower back. So where you want to have it is the heaviest part of your hips and pelvis. Again, your tailbone is probably somewhere in the middle. You're not having this on that curved bit of your lower back. It's on where you have the heaviest part. And again, you can arms alongside you and reach up with your toes. And then finally, if you wish to take the wall option, you want to bring your hips up against the wall as close as you can, bending your knees and using one hand against the wall. Using that hand to the wall, you pivot yourself so that your heels are resting on the wall. And again, your arms can be alongside you. Close your eyes. Perhaps you cover your eyes with your eye pillow. My eyebrows are so thick that they do create a pillow. And really soften here. This is your opportunity to have this sensation of softness spread through the length and breadth of your body, as if it were butter melting. One more breath here. And then if you've got your legs up on the wall, what I would invite you to do is bend your knees in towards you. And then using your hands on the earth to pivot your legs away from the wall. And then come onto your mat so that you can stretch out on the length of your mat. If you have your legs extended in the air, bend into your knees and hug them in. And then push your bolster or large pillow away if that's what you have underneath you. I suggest you place your pillow or bolster underneath your knees for your Shavasana. And if you don't have a bolster or large pillow available, small cushions will do the same job, or your rolled up blanket. And I'm going to invite you to stay in Shavasana for 5 minutes. And this is your time. So you can be here for as long or as short as you wish. And as you lie here in Shavasana, begin to take your breath along the length of your spine. Visualize a flowing river of healing water. This water may be warm or perhaps cool, depending on what it is that the temperature, the sensation of the temperature that you helps to soothe or relax your back. For some of us, it might be cool water. For some of us, it might be a warm bath. For some of us, we may apply some cooling ointments or ice packs. For some of us, we may apply heat packs or have a warm hot water bottle. We are also unique, the stories that our backs hold. And as you allow this river of healing energy flowing through and along the length of your spine, allow it to wash away all of those aches, pains, and discomforts. And when you rise, remember to turn onto your side and close your practice by chanting Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'll close the class quietly